fight in February has come to a close, but guess what? We've got a lot of fight action on the way. March 4th, UFC 285. You might have heard of a guy named Jon Jones. He is coming back to action to face Ciryl Gane in the main event. Of course, Valentina Shevchenko is putting her title on the line against Alexa Grasso as well. But then on March 11th, we've got Jan versus Dvalishvili in our main event, followed up by yet another pay-per-view. Kamaru Usman looks to get his title back when he faces Leon Edwards at UFC 286 in London on March 18th. And then we will finish up the month down in San Antonio, Texas on March 25th. Excited to get back down to the Lone Star State to see Vera versus Sandhagen. So glad we have got a crowd for that one. But Sugar, of course, next week, the main event, UFC 285, Jon Bones Jones coming back against Ciryl Gane. What do you make of the fight?
Man, I'm so excited for this fight. To see Jon Jones come back to return at heavyweight is really a testament to Jon Jones and just, you know, how he's been able to stay focused. He's been out of the game for almost 4 years now, just really just getting big. But it's going to be exciting to see if he can come and cement his legacy going against a killer in Ciryl Gane, who is just so amazing on his feet and really has shown different levels of what it means to be a heavyweight. I think he's really kind of changed the landscape with his lateral movement and how creative he is with the striking. It's going to be exciting to see how Jon Jones handled the footwork, the lateral motion. Is he going to go for a takedown? Is he going to just try to, you know, work on what is perceived to be Gane's weakness, which is the ground? Is a lot of questions being answered, and it's going to be exciting to find out.
I'm interested to see two things. A, I want to see Jones's physique. I want to see the finished product, that all this time off that you've spent shaping yourself into becoming a heavyweight. I'm really interested to see how is he going to look inside the octagon next to a guy in Ciryl Gane. And the other thing I'm really excited to see is this is the closest thing to a mirror image of himself that he is going to be fighting from a technical standpoint. Circling back to what you were saying, Ciryl can move like Jon. He's got fluidity in his style. He's got creativity. He knows how to use his elbows. He knows how to use his weapons. So this is the closest match for Jon I think that he's had in a very long time. Yeah. So I'm excited to see how he handles it. And I mean, the card from top to bottom is stacked regardless. Obviously, I got to give a little shout out to Chef Cat Rachmanov.
Well, yes.
I mean, him and Jeff Neal are going to have one heck of a fight.
Well, you're tipping my hat here. Let's take a look at the rest of the main card here. Yeah, Shavkat Rachmanov is going to be fighting on this card. And of course, Michael Chiesa will be there wearing the hat in support, of course, right?
That's right.
No, the fight card does start off with Bo Nickel versus Jamie Pickett at middleweight. We've got Mateusz Gamrot versus Jalen Turner. That is an excellent fight at lightweight. But yes, Jeff Neal versus Shavkat Rachmanov. Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso before Jones and Gane. And I do want to ask you about that one, Michael. Shevchenko versus Grasso. I mean, you know, Valentina is the queen. She seems untouchable, but Alexa Grasso has such great boxing.
Yeah, she's got very crisp boxing, and I feel like if you're going to fight Valentina Shevchenko, and it's going to start on the feet, like you have to stay within yourself and your skills. And obviously, Valentina has so many weapons on the feet. I think for Grasso to be primarily a boxer, that's going to help her handle the diversity in the attacks from Valentina Shevchenko. But it's hard for me to even fathom the thought of Valentina losing to Alexa. And I say that with all due respect.
Of course.
Every champion comes up short at some point if they don't hang them up during their title reign. But I just don't know if Grasso's the one to get the job done. But as we saw tonight, anything can happen in a fight. So it's what makes this sport so interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how Valentina comes into this fight. I mean, you know, the gap has been closing. You know, the gap has been closing. She has some really tough fights in the last couple outings. So, you know, the girls are starting to catch on. And that's what all it takes. All it takes is a little blood in the water to know that she can bleed. She is human. Mm-hmm. And it gives other fighters confidence to know that I can put pressure on. I can weather the storm. I can go out there and try to impose my will. And it can work. So it's going to be interesting to see if Grasso can go and just kind of take control right away and be as confident as she needs to be to dethrone the champion.
I think if she could stay behind a jab and just keep it very basic, I think she could give herself good odds on the feet. But I just feel like if you're going to dethrone Valentina Shevchenko, it has to go down on the ground. Like, you got to get her to the ground. And we saw the success Talia Santos had in the grappling department. But I think for Grasso to play into her strengths, she's really got to work behind that jab.
Well, that is, of course, the flyweight co-main event next week at UFC 285, and then Jon Jones returns against Ciryl Gane. That is a week ahead. But tonight, we did have 10 fights. Guys, we had 6 finishes out of these fights, and we had a change in our main event. We had a couple of guys in the co-main event, the middleweights, elevated to the main event. But, Michael, as we kind of walk away from the evening, any final thoughts for you?
You know, we didn't talk about Spann and Krylov very much in the show, obviously, because the fight got pulled. So I want to say two things. A, heal up, Nikita Krylov. It's unfortunate that this happened to you. And B, you know, during some time away from the fights when we had a break, I watched Ryan Spann's little media scrum after the fight. And the emotion that he showed and how bad he really wanted to be in there and compete tonight. I just want to give a shout out to him and say, hey, greatness is on the other side of this little hiccup in your path. I think that there's something great for him on the other side of this. So I just want to give a big shout out to Ryan Spann and Nikita Krylov.
Yeah, as cliche as it sounds, everything happens for a reason. And sometimes when things like this happen, you got to just, you know, just trust the fact that something is greater on the other side, or there's a better reason why this didn't happen. But I mean, my thoughts go out to tonight, Brendan Allen. I was really impressed with him tonight. And I felt as if, like, you know, it truly was a growing up, you know, and I love to see that in fighters. I love to watch the fights and watch an athlete grow. And tonight was that night for Brendan Allen. And I'm glad I was here for it.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.